What's your tag and how long you been playing?
My tag's Fader. I've been playing like off and on for like about like 9 years. But I've been playing Puff for about half a year now.
Gotcha. And what's like your goal right now?
Uh, my long-term goal is to be number one in Penn State. But for right now, like for this semester, I'm trying to make the PR.
Dude, also PA boys. That's sick.
Yeah.
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 I've gone to
I'm
a
originally
Penn State
from New
tournament.
Jersey, but
Oh, really?
it's yeah. But it's a cool region. I got to go to No Johns. Obviously, you did very well there.
Yeah.
But yeah, sick state, sick region.
For sure. So in terms of like the Falcon matchup, like what's your like general thought process?
I think in general, I'm trying to like sort of work my way like a bit like closer to it. I want to play like closer to him than like in other matchups because I feel like when I'm like fully across the stage, he just has so many more things that he can like I just have less responses to him. So I feel like usually in the matchup, I'm either trying to like I'm just trying to like take center stage and like work through that. And if I am far away, I'm just trying to go for like wave dash back grabs and stuff. And then like I get most of my kills through edge guarding against Falcon. I definitely don't get like as many rests as I probably should.
Yeah, you definitely got zero rests in this set,
Yeah.
which is like pretty abnormal, but that's also a thing about me too. I also have that problem sometimes. But yeah, from just like general like overview, I feel like you have like two wolves inside you. One wolf is like just like in the corner, like dash dancing and like jumping around, waiting for Falcon to like come at you, but also like you're not really sure what you want to do when he comes at you. Sometimes you go for
Yeah.
like a dash jack or like a fair or like a just jump away back air as like your kind of thought process. And the other wolf is like I want to stop him from getting there, and then you just like do like a full hop forward air into center stage. And those are like the two like type of modes you have in this matchup. Sometimes there's a third mode where you're like I'm gonna do like a full hop like auto cancel back here in place and then just like hope he kind of jumps into it, which is like not the best in like a vacuum, but I'll kind of talk about like what you can do instead. How I think about the matchup, and especially how Hungrybox plays it, is a lot of like crouch as your like main objective. Objective being like a weird term to say, but it's more like whenever you are doing nothing, you should be crouching at like all times because Falcon has a problem where you can actually audibly react to his stomp with shield every time if you're crouching, and you can crouch power shield it over and over again. Like if you ever see Hbox versus Wizzy, or especially none, like that just comes up so much over and over again, and that's really important because if you're
Yeah.
crouching, that's his only move to actually be crouched reliably. He can technically knee you, but that's also still very slow. Like Falcon doesn't have a lot of drift like on his aerials. It's either all or nothing essentially.
Yeah.
So when Falcon goes for like a jump at you, you can basically always just shield out of a crouch and then just be safe against anything he does, unless he starts tomahawking you. But the fact is, when you're playing it, you never even get to the stage where he can actually tomahawk you. So like,
Yeah.
you're just like not even playing like a full entire like mix up of the matchup, which is
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
not at that level of the mix up yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that's like a really good like default way to play it. And the way to get that is usually with aerial crouch. So basically, whenever you throw out like a back air or like a falling up air, falling back air, or something like that, you just press crouch after it, and then you'll be safe. It's like a concept you can use against like most characters, but the thing about Falcon, like I'm saying, is like he can't hit you out of his crouch if you just like do back air, falling up air, crouch, and then he has to go for like a stomp. Then you just power shield the stomp right after, and then it's just like what does he even do against you? Is essentially how it kind of boils down.
Alright.
So that's like really important because a lot of your situations you like do like fall like you do like back air and then you roll or something like that away, which just gives Falcon time to just like chase your roll or like put you into a bad spot into the corner. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about before going to it. And do you need me to go over like stages that are good, or are you good on that?
Well, I mean, like, so yeah, this is the best of 3. Like, generally, I just like Battlefield is sort of the default, and then like, I just sort of Dreamland. I can't get killed by knee like as early, so that's good. And then other than that, like I go FOD sort of just because like I just like that stage like across most matchups.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's something. I don't know if like Battlefield is like actually better or what.
Yeah, I think Battlefield's just the starter stage now that Pokemon Stadium is frozen. I think Fountain's good if you will rest is the problem. I think it's a harder stage to just get like random like gimps. Whereas like if you pick like FD for instance, you just back throw him on FD and he literally can die off like every back throw, which is a big difference than like you can technically do the same thing with Fountain, but it's really not the same at all because of the platforms. But so you can actually just like jump onto the platforms, air dodge onto the platforms, so he has at least more mix-ups. But yeah, that's how I think about it. And yeah, we'll just go into it now. So instantly you're being the wolf where you do this like dash dance, like jump around. Like this doesn't, like I'm saying, it doesn't really make any sense at all because Puff doesn't have like a dash dance grab game that's like anywhere close to like any other character. So what I would be doing instead if I'm doing this, well, one, just as a general thing in every matchup, I'm just gonna be trying to work towards center off the start of the game. So I'm probably just gonna do a shield drop up air into center stage as like a default. Like if I don't know anything about the Falcon player, I'm just gonna shield drop up air into center because a lot of the times they're gonna do like a run off Nair off the platform or do like a run off knee or something like that, and your up air will usually catch them a lot of the time. And also in that, I feel like you don't really do a lot of like non-auto cancel moves, and then when you do, you kind of miss the L cancel like a lot, like every time almost. So I think that's probably something to think about. I don't know if you just like
counters and stuff.
Not even like literally like I'm just gonna show you the L cancel rate. It's like there we go. Yeah, the L cancel rate in this game is 1 out of 10. And like you didn't get any edge cancels, so like that means that every single time you've gone for an aerial,
wow.
And then the other game was pretty similar. You also didn't have any edge cancels, so you 23%, which like is pretty huge for sure because
that's interesting.
A lot of the situations just boil down to having more advantage against Falcon or against every character in the game, but like maybe the reason why you can't get like these rests is because you're just missing L cancels and then you're just not having enough time to actually follow up on your combos. I think is probably what's happening. But yeah, so that's what's happening a lot. So yeah, I would be already in center trying to falling up air, and now that he's just like kind of just doing nothing on the platform, I'd probably just start attacking with up air. So that's just like one thing that's pretty important. General thing against every character. But it's okay, so instead of doing this dash dance, basically how Hungrybox plays against none is just sitting in the corner waiting for them to just like jump into him. That like is inherently fine, like technically, but as long as you're doing like just sitting and crouch and doing it, or you can wave dash in place, wave dash back, sometimes wave dash forward to like cross them up if they like overshoot into the corner. That works sometimes too, because a lot of times when you do a wave dash forward, you actually just duck under a lot of moves due to her jump squat. And then just her being so low to the ground. You'll probably find that happens like a lot against like Falco or something like that. You just like wave dash like through their down air and then just turn around and grab them. It comes up a lot against Falcon too. You can do that. Just don't do dash dance or do a jump at all. Just do just like sit on the ground with wave dash down, wave dash back. You're just basically waiting for them to like overcommit at you or jump at you so you can shield and then just go from there. So right now, I would not jump in the corner like this. If I was to do this, I would I would have to be at like much higher percent in terms of like I'm at high percent and he's at like let's say 30%. So up air knocks down. So then I do this jump away here, hoping that he like runs, jumps up air at me, and I do like a double jump back air again up here to get like further away out of the up air range. So I hope he jumps at me, and then I can come down with a falling up air and kill him, potentially with tech chase rest. So that's like the only situation you really want to do this type of like gameplay against Falcon. Sometimes you'll see like for instance, like just being up here, which you sometimes do. Like basically, that's also kind of similar to like doing nothing, like dash dance. But it's the same concept where you're kind of like hoping a Falcon overcommits at you, and then you just like come down to falling up air and kill them. It's like good when you're up, but I don't think it's really necessarily good when you're down, or like even, like especially at 0, when the most like impactful thing you can get at 0 is like a grab. That's the only thing that's gonna lead to like a knockdown, right? So you kind of want to be on the ground more, or in a position where you can get a grab, or like threaten like a back air timing, and then you can just like go for a tomahawk grab. So it doesn't really make sense to be like jumping like away here at all. So that was actually a reactable situation to him just whiffing Nair here. So you did get the back air timing that somehow didn't lose here. I don't know how. So right here, you do this jump away, but after you see that he's done a Nair here, you can literally just fall down after doing that back air, and then just do a falling up air. And the thing about Falcon is that he's horrible at a shield, but you don't really like force him into shield a lot is like the problem. Like I understand what you're saying, but you like want to be like close to Falcon because that's really good, because being on top of him is great. But the way to do that is basically falling up air, and either you can cross him up going this way or going this way, and he basically has to guess which one you're doing every time. If you do like falling up air into crouch on the front of his shield, sometimes you can just crouch under a shield grab and just jump rest it, and then sometimes you up air this way, he'll try and do like a stomp at a shield, you just crouch power shield that, and you can do like wait dash turn around grab at a shield. You can sometimes even rest after it too, not as consistent though. If it like hits you
if I'm hitting like the up air at 0, am I like trying to confirm that it's like a grab? Like what's the, because I know like around like higher 30s, like 40%, I can get that into rest, but like earlier than that, am I just trying to do up air grab?
Yeah, it's like essentially you either get the up air, and if they get hit by the up air, they might be crouching, but they really can't get anything off of the crouch anyways, especially if you crouch right after. You can just if you hit the up air, you can try and get a grab after it. Sometimes they might gentleman, like crouch cancel gentleman after that, in which case you can just hold away after getting hit by it. Or if you're crouching on the ground, sometimes you can actually spot dodge through a gentleman and just rest it. Or you can also just jump rest it sometimes too. It's a little bit of a weird move, honestly. Sometimes I just choose not to interact with it at all, either jumping away out of it, or I just like wave dash after the gentleman and then just try and get them like back into shield. Or if they put themselves back into shield after the gentleman, then I just wave dash turn around grab. That comes a lot too. But yeah, but it's basically you're going for like up air grab, sometimes up air up tilts at like 0%. It depends. Usually I'd probably just do up air grab here, but mainly it's because I know the Falcon's gonna put himself in a shield almost every time, or he's gonna do something like this, which like does not work. He wouldn't have enough time to do this if you were instantly falling on with up air after doing the first back air instead of jumping away. But yeah, so you somehow fall into that because you weren't reacting. That's fine. So I would prefer to definitely land. I feel like you kind of like put yourself in bad spots without resources a lot. Resources being like jumps, for instance.
Yeah.
So you're up here, you use one jump, and then so the problem with landing on the ground here is that landing on the platform is like insanely free in that sense. That if you land right here and Falcon's right here, there's nothing he can hit you with that actually reaches you. He has to start a dash, then he has to start like a jump. And by the time he does that, you're on the platform. You can just shield drop up air if he tries to jump at you onto the platform, and just like shield drop up air. And if he's higher percent, you could rest, tech chase rest. And with he's at 0%, you could do the shield drop up air. He has to sit on the platform after. Then you just do like an up air pressure on his platform, on his shield, and then you can just drift to center. and then you have center on him. Like, it's like so easy to just like lay on the ground or like ledge, because like those are technically safer, but the platform is just really good to reset your jumps. That's a pretty common situation in like every matchup. Like, if you can lay on the platform for free, you should. I don't recommend sitting on the platform though against Falcon, because his up air is just really good. But
Yeah, I think that's what I worry about. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely don't utilize platforms that much in this matchup because I'm just worried about getting like clipped by up air.
yeah.
But I see what you're saying. There's like a difference between like resetting onto the platform and like staying there for a long time and just being
Yeah.
a sitting duck.
You also don't even have to land too. You can literally just wave land off the side of the platform and just be on the ground anyways, but with your jumps back. With the option to jump off stage if he starts dashing at you here when he was in center. So it would be a lot better if you just like wave landed, or just wave dash, or wave land on if you want to. Depends on like how the Falcon's playing sometimes too. If you think that like they're gonna hold center for a while just sitting there dash dancing, sometimes I'm like down to just like shield drop into nothing and then just start taking center on them as well too. But it's also kind of a read. Doing like shield drop and then doing an instant up air would have been fine too. So this spot again, you do like the type of dash dance movement. Again, in this spot, it's like if you just crouch right here after doing that back air, you also miss the L cancel too. But if you crouch after doing that back air, then when he starts jumping at you, you just shield the knee, and you probably get a power shield most of the time. And if you don't, you can just like wave dash out a shield after the knee. You can sometimes hold shield after the knee and like shield grab a gentleman after it's done. You might do like knee grab, in which case you do like wave dash your shield anyways, or like it's basically in this spot you should never like whenever Falcon's jumping you should be shielding. It's like you never really want to be either jumping at the same time Falcon does, like at the exact like not like I don't want to say like the exact frame, but like in a range of frames, like the first like 5 frames within Falcon jumping, you really don't want to be jumping as well too. You either want to jump first or jump later is essentially how it works. You don't want to jump around the same time. So yeah, this is completely avoidable. But let's see this. So you just like start like doing a lot of fair. I don't know if you just don't want to like turn yourself around, but if you're kind of doing like these types of aerials, it's more you should just be doing back air in this spot, because you just have better drift on it, and then you have the ability to just like if you get the back air, it's a meaningful hit, whereas when you get this type of fair, almost every time it's going to be a weak fair, which just doesn't do anything at 0. So I would just be turning around and back airing to the spot. I also don't really think it's necessarily good to do that type of back air either. I'd probably just do full hop and then react to what Falcon does. If Falcon starts jumping at me, then I probably just go to the ground and shield. Or I could try and like stuff him before he starts jumping. Like if he starts dashing at me, I just do a falling back air on the dash. So I wouldn't really be like trying to do like back air at potential jump. I'd be probably back airing at a dash, if anything, to try and force him to shield is the big thing. Because like I'm saying, like getting him in shield is like so good. You don't even have to necessarily grab him off the shield. It's more about the fact that he can't cover you. Unreactable drift, cross up on your shield. Okay. Okay, so whenever you want to get back to center stage, or back to a reasonable position in this matchup, this isn't like horrible recovery, but what you do after is not the best. So
Yeah.
against like Fox or something like that, like doing this type of like back air on stage, it's not the worst. But against Falcon, he has such a hard time of going off stage that you really want to be high and into the corner if you want to recover. So in this spot, grabbing the ledge is good, and I would just do a tournament winner back and then just start being really high in the air, so that Falcon, if he really wants to hit me, he has to risk like double jump up airing me, and then like I could pound after he whiffs the up air, and he could just literally die. Even at 0, when he doesn't get knocked down by pound, he could just still be like far off stage, and I just go for back air, back air, back air, and he just dies. And like
No, yeah, that makes sense. That's definitely something I struggle with in this matchup.
yeah, and it's a lot about like mixing up whether you're fast falling or like no fast falling in your drift, and then like also making it ambiguous whether you're gonna like go into like this. I don't want to say you're gonna go this way, Landing on top platforms sometimes is good too. But you don't really want to be in this spot ever, necessarily when you're coming back high, especially with no jumps. That's how you get like dash, up air need, or like basically anytime you see H-Box lose to Captain Falcon, it's because he's like in this spot with no jumps. That's like the worst spot to be in. So whenever I'm thinking about recovery, I'm doing tournament winner back, and then I'm trying to do like backer. Hopefully Falcon commits at me. If he doesn't, then I decide whether I want to land like here-ish in this spot, or I want to land back on ledge and play the mix-up again. Or sometimes I can land on stage and get a crouch up. It depends on where he's positioned at too. Let's say he whiffs an up air and I'm not ready to punish it. I am just down to drift completely into center stage and just take center. Then that like land here, get my jumps back, and then start to pressure him in the corner again. And if he's like on the ground here, I'm probably not landing here because I don't want to get up aired. I want to be landing either on stage if I can, like if he gives me enough space. Like if he's right here, I'm not going to be landing stage because then he can just literally short hop me and kill me. But if I land here when he's here, that's fine. And then if I land on stage when he's like here-ish, that's fine too because I can get crouch up before he can actually jump at me with an aerial. So that's like how I think about like recovery or getting back into a good spot. I'm not like necessarily trying to backer him like ever, or this applies to many characters too. You're not necessarily trying to hit them when recovering, but you're like, if they give you a really easy hit, like Falcon whiffing an up air off stage, then, especially double jumped, then you just take it. If he doesn't give you that though, just don't force it. That's pretty similar in like Sheik, for instance. They'll like go off stage with like a back air and try and hit you, and if they like commit themselves too far off stage, you can pound them. Against Falco, it's the same situation. If they like go far off stage, if they even go past the ledge in Falco Puff, they just literally should die to a pound or an up air. Fox is completely different because his recovery is just better in terms of distance, and then his full hop is crazy, so it's pretty hard to consistently punish him when he goes off stage. It's more about punishing him in different spots. But yeah, that's a situation that comes up versus like every character. But against Falcon, he is so bad in terms of getting off stage. So that's how you get back. But you actually get into a situation somehow that you don't get back aired here.
I was gonna say if he's in that position, like he's on the platform, like for some reason, does my idea there change? Like, is this more valid or?
Nah, it's definitely just worse.
Still the same thing.
Yeah, it's worse when he's right there. If anything.
Oh really?
Because if he like shield drop stomps or like does like a shield drop like up air could probably still, like if he's like facing this way and you just shield drop up air, like this just beats everything you do here. So there's just like nothing you could have done. Or sometimes even shield drop knee can sometimes hit here too. So yeah, I don't know how, like this is just ridiculous in terms of Puff that this works. But I do like that he crouched instantly. And now that he's with this and he's next to you, just click grab, but you click this back air for some reason. So you think that you have enough time to get that grab. If you don't trust it, that's fine too. You can just shield as well too when he starts jumping. But if you just sit there crouching and waiting and then shield after the stop, you just get a free backer on this anyways. And you jumped at the exact same time he did and just kind of got lucky that his stomp did not hit you. This wasn't like a reaction. This was more just like you tried to like get out of that situation. But getting out of the situation would have been just like 100% safe if you did like crouch instead, for sure. But yeah, in this spot, this is what I was talking about with back air falling up air. It's a okay, so I do like that you're not spamming it. Which sounds unintuitive because a lot of people when they start playing Puff just spam back air falling up air, back air falling back air over and over again.
That's what I used to do when I first started playing the matchup. I just did that a ton, but then he started like he would just shield it easily, and then like I would just get super punished for it.
Yeah, it's like it's a really bad scrub habit in every matchup. So I actually like that you're not doing it every time. But this is the one matchup where it's actually really good because of the ability to cross up his shield, like I'm saying, and then do crouch right after. So that would have been a really good spot to do it in. Then you crouch again. This was definitely a free shield. Like, this is just so insane that you're hitting him for this. I just don't like it's crazy how lucky you're getting in terms of this timing. There's just not a real thing to do. But you're not taking that much damage. But so yeah, like you do this type of, this is the same thing you were doing earlier with Fair, but you did the back air this time. Like this doesn't really make like that much sense. You want to wait until like the aerial is done, or at least in a situation where if you hit your back air, you're not trading, because you don't want to trade with Falcon like pretty much ever on his moves, unless it's like you're trading like an up air or a pound for something. Then when you the trade's over, you can probably get a tech chase rest. But like trading like back air and Nair is so not good, because a lot of the times what will happen, you trade, and if your back air doesn't knock down and his Nair doesn't knock down, Falcon will land first and probably get a short hop up air out, especially if they're good and can do like the instant short hop up airs, and probably just kill you because you'll just be low on jumps. So that's just gonna happen a lot. So whenever you're doing these types of aerials, it's more about punishing them, like with punishing them over and over again. It's not about trying to intercept them in the air. A different situation comes up about intercepting, which you sometimes do, but not in the correct spots. So what I would do instead here is, again, I'd be full hopping, and then I'd be waiting for the Nair to come out. Sometimes not even expecting a Nair to come out. Like sometimes I could just still expect a dash dance to be coming out, and just be like just sitting here waiting to react to a whiff Nair. So that's how I kind of portray this spot. Or you can sit on the ground doing this too, and just like wave dashing, or wave dash down, wave dash back, and both those are fine too. Because I know that if I do get a wave dash back on a Nair and I can get a back throw, I can literally kill him. Especially this Falcon, because his recovery is not that good. But yeah, that's how I kind of interpret that spot. I don't really like doing like facing him with. I do like the fact that you wave off the platform. That was good. I don't like these types of fairs because again, they aren't gonna get anything besides a weak fair here, or they're gonna trade again. So then you're gonna be a really bad spot. So just turn around if you're trying to get back to a neutral situation, or like get out of a situation. Again, you're not trying to hit them, but you're trying to create space or force them to overcommit. Okay. Nair is really, really interesting in this matchup. So I really like it, but you can't do it from the corner. This applies the same thing to Marth as well too. They're actually pretty similar in a lot of ways in terms of like crouch and what moves there is really good. Like Falcon's Nair or Falcon's Nair and up air are just really good at beating Puff's Nair. So it's pretty much like it's always like gonna be a whiff punish, or you're be stuffing Falcon, but you can't stuff Falcon when he's in center because he has no incentive to like be scared, if that makes sense. If he's in center, you can't get back thrown. If he's in center, he can't really get back-aired off stage. And then if he's in center, your Nair isn't gonna like knock him off stage into the corner or something like that. So Nair just doesn't really have the same scare factor as it does in the corner, or like Falcon isn't gonna play into the spots where Nair is good, like jumping out of shield into a Nair, and then you just hit him off stage for that. So it's not really gonna have the same effect. So again, I'd be probably be in the corner, just like in crouch, just waiting for the Nair to come out. With punish, take my damage, build up enough damage to get him off stage. Hopefully, eventually get into a situation where I can get that back air falling upper on him again, which would be really nice, because then I could actually have something meaningful going on. Because if I'm not doing that, then like I'm just hoping he runs into like me crouching and then getting like a power shield on a stomp or something like that, and getting wave dash turnaround grab. So it's like I'd rather be active in this matchup in terms of trying to get that like back air falling up air, or just trying to get him in shield, rather than being passive. It depends again on the Falcon. Like none, for instance, will try and run into the corner a lot, so that gameplay works. But I'd rather be passive. I'd rather be active mostly. So it's another missile cancel. Yeah, this was like not too. This is an interesting type of back air to do. I like the fact that you crossed it up. If you did an auto cancel one, it would have been the same effect. I assume that's what you meant to do, and got an L cancel one. But yeah, that's just a different thing in terms of just like grinding like fast all L cancels a lot. But this is a really good shield. But you do a roll after for some reason. No. So you do the correct option where you do aerial and then you do shield because you couldn't get a time for crouch because you missed your L cancel. He does a Nair on shield. You could definitely just back air out of shield here, and you'd be perfectly fine. If you miss the back air, like you don't have enough time, and he starts this dash dance, you could just do the back air, start drifting with him, and he's like basically screwed because he can't do an up air on you. Up air will not work, and he can't do a knee. He has to do like a back air, and like hopefully he trades. That's like his best option, because if you keep drifting with him and he's dashing this way, he's done. You can just literally fall on top with the back air, and then you set up the aerial crouch thing again over and over again. So it's like, even if you whiff this back air, it would have been fine instead of like panicking with the roll, which you do. Okay, that was good. Getting that grab again. I don't like how you got it out of a roll, but whatever. You got the grab. So whenever you're going for this, just go for the rest. This is basically one of the spots you could actually get the rest in. So this was good. And to right here, you made a decision to up air. Like, if you literally just double jump rested, this would have been perfect. Perfect pitches.
Yeah, I don't go for it against Falcon for some reason. I definitely need to.
Yeah. It's also, like, the problem is you don't actually hit the up airs on the tech chases anyways on the platforms, too. You just, like, miss a lot. It's a lot different than up air tech chasing Fox and Falco in terms of timing. So that's probably why you're messing up, is that you're used to those characters. You have to lab it specifically against Falcon. In which case, I would rather just lab tech.
Yeah, I'd just rather just go for the rest, yeah.
There's some spots you can't, but in this spot, super down to just take a rest. Sometimes I won't even die to the rest punish when he comes back. This was what I was saying about being in a bad spot. Like, you have little jumps again, and then you put yourself even worse. If you wave landed off the platform here instead of doing this back air, you would have been in a good spot to be fine. You could have done wave off the platform and double jump, and he probably can't hit you unless he just like full hop double jump up air. And in that case, if you somehow like drift away and fall on top of an up air, he's just dead. So it's like you just put yourself in a bad spot in this zone without any jumps. So that was not good. He should have just killed you there, but he messed up. Okay. There's nothing inherently wrong with this back here again, because it sets up position to do an aerial after into a crouch, but it's also not like the best thing in the world. Right here, you like wave dash back for some reason, even though like when you throw out this type of back air like this, you're hoping he like runs at you after and goes for like an aerial and whiffs. Like the whole intention behind that is to get like him to run at you and hopefully think he has enough time to like catch you, but obviously he doesn't. So you should, right after landing here, just wait for the Nair to finish and then just full hop back here right after, and he just gets So definitely this is a huge missed opportunity. I like doing this was really good, the wave dash and then shield after seeing him jump. This was good, but
I dropped the shield.
It's just crazy. Like sometimes you just randomly have the good concept, but you just mess up slightly. That was really good. That was really good if you obviously held shield. Do not do this pound like ever. This comes up in every single matchup, and it's pretty common. Like I was talking about with the aerial falling upper thing, like that beginner puffs do. This one's also like the same concept where they'll like bad players will run into these types of pounds, but good players will never run into these types of pounds. Or even like once they get to like 2-2 level player, they will not run into this type of pound. Like I was talking about in terms of getting these pounds off stage, people have to double jump and like overcommit to get to these type of pounds. You can't do it in this spot like ever. This will just kill you in every matchup. So just don't do this. Just grab ledge here, or like do a turnaround back here to try and like create space for yourself, then grab ledge, then do the turnip winner like I was saying. So yeah, just never do this pound in any matchup. Okay, like there's nothing inherently wrong with doing the turnaround back here. Completely different spot because he's all the way in center, so you don't really have to like work your way back around him because he's not in this general vicinity where he can hit you after doing this turnaround back here. So this was fine to do. You could have also just not done this and just do like a wave lane on stage. That would have been fine too, or ledge dash if you're confident in it as well too. I don't think there's that much need for it. Good timing technically. Again, I don't really like doing this type of back air timing, but it also worked out, so I'm not like gonna fault you on it as like a general game plan. Again, I would prefer doing like full hop and then reacting to the Nair coming out and whiffing and then hitting it. That's just general preference. But this is a crazy DI mix-up to do this back air here. This is pretty cool. I sometimes see this spot, but I don't know how intentional it was in terms of like not going for up air there. Yeah.
Well, I probably just thought that he was going to like go further back than he did, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna confirm another back air here.
Yeah, that makes
But he
sense.
ended up being in a position where I could have up aired. Yeah, I think it's just me underestimating the knockback or overestimating the knockback.
Yeah, generally how you like combo Falcon in terms of not resting is you go for like, you get a back air falling up air, or do like an up air tech chase on the platform. You get your up air and then you confirm into back air. Is essentially how you always will combo Falcon without rest. Usually after one up air in a combo, like around 60% is the latest I'm going to hit Falcon with up air before using a back air on him. So that's like essentially how it works mid combo. But this was pretty good accidentally that you did this. Here you could definitely just jab reset. You just wave dash forward, jab reset. You could actually wave dash forward, probably jump rest. Probably have time to do that too. Either one would have been fine. I don't really like dash check inherently, but you actually read them on this recovery like every time, so this works out. This is really good Edgeguard. So I don't really. There's not a lot to say about other Edgeguards, unfortunately, but in terms of how you Edgeguard Falcon in general, is he has a few mix-ups here. Obviously, he has doing this like low recovery, which loses to Puff staying on stage. He has like he has an up air in this spot too, like either wall jump up air, or he has just up air instead of going low, which covers you jumping off stage, in which case you stay on stage and then hit him after doing the up air. He also has like double jump back up B, in which case you just wait on stage again. He also sometimes has like aerial on the stage with like Nair or knee, in which case you have to hit him before he does it. So that's another hard read situation, like the drop fair like you do here. So
basically my general, and you could say whether this is like stupid or not, but like my general idea versus Falcon is just like, if he's in this position like below the stage, I just always go for this Nair, because my idea is like it's gonna beat double jump or like the up B, and the only thing that he can really do is like up air, but then maybe he can't recover off that. And then, but if he's in a position where he can double jump onto the stage, or like he's higher up, then I'll just wait pretty much.
Yeah.
And just like go for a back air.
The thing is, in this spot right here, he could definitely do a double jump onto the stage in the aerial. So I'm just saying, like, you hard read him on a mix-up, which is how you have to Edgeguard Falcon most of the time anyways. So that was good. I'm just, like, detailing, like, the other mix-ups he could do here and how to beat them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But this is really good. Weak fairy, just OP against Falcon, so already have the Edgeguard down in terms of that. It's good. Okay, so whenever Falcon's invincible, or most characters in general, you don't really want to burn this many jumps off stage, because you have to land with low resources, and like I was saying, that's just not good. You have lower jump heights towards the end, and you have also more predictable drift. So again, it's just not good to land with low resources here. You get away with this technically, but I also don't really like.
So what should I be doing instead in that?
So against Falcon invincibility in general, you can just sit on the ledge, because a lot of the time he has to like hard commit to hit the ledge in general, and by the time he hard commits, hits the ledge, you can do a bunch of different mix-ups. You can do like, he tries to hit the ledge, you just do you jump back off the ledge, and then you don't get hit, and then he's off stage, and then his invincibility could run out, and then you just can hit him and gimp him basically at 0. Also, you could do like tournament winner back here and not use any jumps and just like kind of wait it out. That's fine too. But using jumps again, just like, is not really like the play. And that goes in general for every character. So sitting on the ledge would be nice just because of how hard Falcon has to hit that. Against like Fox, for instance, sitting on the ledge is not as good because he can just shine the ledge, and that's not good, which is way less risky than Falcon like trying to run off stage up air and like try and hit the ledge that way, or stomp, which he can also just like, you can actually do the turnaround back air stuff versus stomp on the ledge. That's the only time the turnaround back air stuff on the stage is good. This specifically versus stomp. But usually that's during invincibility, so it doesn't really come up. Okay. So in these spots, like right like here, I would prefer, instead of doing a fair, almost always do a full hop auto cancel down air. Do you know what I'm talking about in terms of that? Or don't you did?
Yeah, so I only do it at like later percents.
It's definitely better like the lower percent, because sometimes you can combo it into up tilt. This is also true against Marth as well too. It's against tall characters. You want to do full hop auto cancel down air setups. You can do full hop auto cancel down air right here. Hit him with some of the hits of the down air, and then once the down air is done, because the auto cancel, you can just up tilt after. A lot of good Falcons though will not let you hit the up tilt. Same with Marths, but Marths are worse at the game, so it doesn't really come into play. Just how it is, like it's just how I see it. So after you do the auto cancel down air, instead of doing up tilt, you can read their dash away with back air. Is also a pretty common situation. It's sometimes a 50-50 where they dash this way or this way after the auto cancel, but most times they'll do the same dash every time. So you can just back air their dash, and then you can set up a situation where you're crouching on their shield again, and it's OP in this spot. Whereas getting a fair here, yeah, you can do like fair falling up air here, and that's fine. But a lot of the times they're gonna be able to get an aerial out before you do this, or they'll be on the ground first. So it won't, and they'll be able to like gentleman out of this. Usually, a lot of times they'll gentleman out of it. So that comes with a lot too. So that's why like these kind of like fairs aren't as good doing as an auto cancel down there. So that's like the big spot, essentially. When you're really close to like Falcon or Marth, you need the full op auto cancel down air. It's just really good. Okay. Cool. This was a good back air on dash. I thought this one was pretty good. Again, you drift back instead of doing either chasing him with a back air or falling on top of him with a falling up air if he stays in place. Both, again, are just really good. Preferable to jumping back because you literally won the situation. But you do do the dash dance jump stuff again. Yep. Whenever you're doing pounds, basically, I think it's pretty decent against Falcon, but most of the time you want to do it when he's on a platform or like jumping around a platform like up here in this range, or like I was saying in terms of like him overcommitting off stage. I don't really do it on the ground ever. Sure. And also the big thing about it is that you don't have that much range on the ground as Puff in general. You have more range when you're on a platform. So also shield drop pound is really good if you want to do a pound in this type of spot when on the ground. It kind of works against Falcon sometimes. I don't really like it that much though. Not a big pound user in this matchup, but I do see its benefits. So again, in this spot, you whiff the pound. You could crouch right here, shield, good. Then you roll instead right after. But you can just wait to see what he does on shield. You can't necessarily shield grab knee a lot of the time. Sometimes you can if you get a power shield. But in this spot, I would just wait to see what he does on shield. I'd probably just wait dash out shield, turn around, grab. Whatever he does most of the time though. Or I would do wait dash out shield, forward smash. Wait dash out shield, back air or dash after doing this knee. Both situations comes up a lot.
I was gonna say, it seems like in general I can just like replace like 90% of these rolls with just wave dash out shield.
Yeah, it's either you just shield and then you just like see what he does after. You're not in a bad spot. It's not like you're fighting like Falco or Fox where they hit your shield and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take percent no matter what he does. It's not the same character, like in terms of that. So yeah, these rolls would be good against Fox or Falco, but not against Falcon. Okay, this was good to go for. You miss your L cancel, so you don't have enough time to crouch. But you get the shield up anyways. This was definitely shield grabbable. It was really high on your shield. But you do the roll again. Do shield again, which is good. Again, this type of fair is only going to get you a weak hit, so don't do these types of fairs.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this is what happens when you do this type of like dash chance jump stuff. Like the last time I think you barely avoided the knee, and then this time you got hit by it.
Mm-hmm.
You actually missed an L cancel again. Wow, that's crazy. But okay, so whenever you're reading jumps like this, it's invincibility, so I get it. Most of the times invincibility, you have like one really good read to go for, and then you have like a soft read where you can kind of cover something, but like if you cover it and you're wrong, you get hit because invincibility ends. But then in this spot, this upper you just do right here is like, this third one was not an invincibility situation. This was like after invincibility was done. So the first one was a hard read. The second one was a soft read that he was gonna still do the option. The third one is like, I messed up so much that I just kind of really want to hit after invincibility because like I feel like I should earn it, right? Because I'm an invincible Jigglypuff. He's a Falcon. If I hit him, he could die. But you don't get the hit because you missed your reads. That's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong about that. Usually during invincibility, though, I prefer to be sticking closer to the character and then trying to like catch like a back air, and they have to shield it, and a lot of times they have to roll or jump, and that's how you get your kills a lot of the time. Either like a jump read up air or like back air, and then like force them to roll and grab their roll or rest their roll. Like that's pretty common. But yeah, you just do this third up air, which is not good. And this is a common situation in terms of up air in general. When you miss a jump read, it's like you're putting yourself in a really bad spot. So you have to think about like, how do I escape it after? And after you do the second one, you basically want to just go to the platform and just reset your jumps. I think you'd have enough time to do that. But after this one, you just put yourself in such a bad spot to get hit. And also in general, whenever you're trying to hit an aerial, you do a rising up air to hit their jumps, you do a falling up air to hit their aerials. So in this spot, I'd be doing a falling up air, and maybe it would actually beat this stomp. Probably not though, stomp's pretty good. So yeah, that's just like a whole sequence of just like not like using invincibility right, but it's okay. This Nair, okay, so this Nair is better than the other ones because you didn't start it in the corner. You started this Nair right like here-ish, so it's a lot better. This is a common situation, which is good. This is actually okay, so this was like not 100% the best thing, but it's a lot better than the other stuff you were doing in terms of like using fair in these types of spots. You were trying to like hit them jumping at you, which is good because a lot of the time you were doing these types of like back air or like forward airs in place in the spot, and then he would start jumping at you and trying to hit you after. So this was good. This is like basically stuffing them when they're in the corner or about to come out of the corner is really good. But you have to start your stuffing like with forward air or Nair. You have to start it from here, ideally right here if I'm gonna be doing this at all, or like in this type of zone. This was a little bit too far back, honestly, but if you do it like from like here to here and stuffing them in the corner with Nair or fair, it's not 100%. You shouldn't do this like 100% of the time when they're in the corner, but like this is a good mix-up to do when they're in the corner. So this is good because it catches the jump, sometimes even catches the dash, and if they've shielded it, you can do cross up left, cross up right, and then they just have to guess on your aerial crouch again. So this is good. This is another good fair. I like this a lot too. Okay.
But again, that's like the drift back after I win the situation.
Yeah, it was definitely a drift back again.
Yeah.
This is a pretty common situation that comes up a lot too. Low percent Marth players, Falcon players, Sheik players sometimes too. They'll just jump after getting hit in this spot. So instead of doing this drift back like you did, I get this fair, I instantly jump read up air. And it'll work almost like every time against bad Falcons and Marths. And unless they have like seen it so many times by you before, then they'll start like recognizing it, but this Falcon will not. Also in this spot, he's on the platform like this, I'm just backering his shield and then falling up air, and I'll probably catch shield drop like 99% of the time. It's a pretty common situation that comes up versus Sheik and Marth as well too. So this would be pretty good spot. You're in this spot with low jumps, good to get away. This was good, not trying to attack him again. I like this a lot. You could also land on the side platform too and like waveline off. Either one would have been fine. It doesn't matter too much in that situation what she did. Okay. This back air is fine as long as you can just do a falling back air here. Yeah, I'd have liked it falling back air here, actually, to try and catch, like, a jump or a dash. I probably would have thought he would dash here, so I'd probably done a falling back air. And if I was wrong, he does dash shield at me, then I just, like, do again. I go right or left, and then I just crouch again. But I don't...
Yeah, there's not much you can really do to punish you.
Yeah, he's, like, in the corner, so he can't, like, instantly hit me. Right away, so that's why I am probably doing a falling aerial there like 99% of the time, which is different than when I'm in the corner and I am doing a reaction aerial based on the fact that he's naring at me or kneeing at me or something like that. It's a lot different because he has more options. When he's in the corner, he has less options. He doesn't have a long way to go for dash dancing. He can't go like off stage with his dash dance, so I know that he has to come at me eventually or shield me, which again is not like the best thing in the world for Falcon. Probably the worst. Okay, this again was like similar to the Nair you did in terms of spacing. This was fine. Sometimes when you do these types of fairs though, you can also mix in like short hop up air, because short hop up air actually catches jump sometimes and can beat these types of Nairs. It depends on percent, but around this percent I'd probably prefer to be doing up air in this spot if I'm doing this type of movement anyways. So that's just something to think about. It's really good because it's like for some reason like Falcon's like jump just like loses to short hop rising up air, so it's just really good to use against him. This is another situation you could jab reset, but you're slow, I guess, is what happens here, and then you actually just charge S smash anyways because he thought you didn't react.
I thought I had it, like yeah. I was just like, that's just like autopilot, I guess.
You definitely didn't react anymore, just like thought you had it, yeah. In which case I would rest anyways, honestly. It's like, yeah, you can like do the jab forward smash Edgeguard, but like honestly, you're 30%, you're not gonna die to a rest punish, so I'd probably just rest. And just like 100% guarantee a stock. You could die off the top too if he's not really paying attention. So that's another thing too. But see, this fair is
ironically working out in my favor.
This fair again was like what I was talking about with the bad spacing. You started from right here, so this is a huge difference in terms of like the spacing and when you're trying to stuff Falcon. Yeah. So that's why it doesn't work at all.
And then that's why you said I trade, and then it ends up in a bad position for me.
Yeah, you trade, and then you're just in this spot. It's horrible. Basically, yeah, there was almost nothing you could have done here to escape this. Besides maybe instantly shield drop up airing if you knew that you landed on the platform, which honestly, I don't fault you for not knowing that you're going to land on the platform here. You could also shield too and like try and shield drop up air this. But honestly, it's also probably not going to work out for you. So or you could do like shield and try and jump away as well too. But again, this comes off of recognition that you knew you were going to land on the platform here and you didn't, so you just died for it. But also the DI was not that great for sure. Like this up air, you could definitely just DI away and not expect him, like he's not gonna really knee you when in this spot when you're at what 59. I don't think he's gonna get it for knee here, like at 49 really before the up air. So I would just be, so it's kind of like when he puff goes for like back air wall of pain. You aren't expecting the up air for the first time, right? So that's why you miss the DI in the first one. But the second one, you should definitely be DIing away. And that's like a general rule of thumb in terms of like Falcon. You just want to DI away the second move because you're not ready for the first one. Because he just won't do up air knee before like 60%. Like right here, I would expect him to knee. So like honestly, sometimes I would be DIing away, right? But you DI away on the last hit, crazily enough. So you DI away on the hit that actually you should DI in because you either get kneed anyways, or you get up aired and you could live. So it's like you're getting hit no matter what, but one of them is.
I think I was just late. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just like a really big situation because that just like shouldn't really happen if you're like thinking about it a lot. Okay. And Falcon's like up there and doing like annoying stuff. Essentially how you think about it is like you attack him from the side platforms, essentially how it works. Sometimes you can also do like meteor cancel the stomp and like up air him from the below and like tech chase rest. I do that sometimes, but it's like kind of cheesy in terms of like it won't necessarily always work. Sometimes they can do shield drop knee and then like also just beat it, so it's like kind of like sus to do it. So I'd prefer to be on the side platforms and just backering from the sides. in a way where if he tries to go for like a shield drop backer on me when I'm trying to get backer on him, I'm not going to get hit by that. Is essentially how it works. I'm doing my drift very cautiously, trying to hit the top platform. I'm not trying to overreach or force it. If I get the backer on him, it's fine. If not, he probably just retreats to his high platform, and then we go back to trying to take center on him again and pushing him into the corner and stuffing him over and over again. Yeah, you do dash and stuff again. Almost died that knee because you jumped at the exact same time Falcon did too. Like,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, you jump at the same time Falcon did. I'm shocked you don't get hit by this knee too, which is crazy. So that's a pretty prime example of like what happens when you jump at the same time Falcon does, but you just somehow just got lucky and just didn't get hit by the knee there. This dash deck actually wasn't too bad. I kind of like the idea there, but it just doesn't. I'm surprised it doesn't work, so nothing too bad about that. Okay. Now I feel like you're just kind of fishing for the kill. Like, you do this fair, which is like, again, what we were talking about was not good. And you do this, do this fair, which is like hard overreaching, like hoping he like dashes all the way into the corner, but like he doesn't have to inherently. What do you even do here? Do you try for go for a grab? Fair. Nah, okay, that was just weird. Now you do this back here again. Not really what I would prefer to do. Honestly, when he goes all the way into the corner here, you can start trying to take space on him with like an empty full hop, and then starting to try and chase him. Like I was talking about, like chasing him after hitting him. If he just puts himself all the way over here, you can just start taking space on him, especially when he's dashing back. Because obviously you want space when you're down. Because he's not gonna run into the corner over and over again if he's smart, essentially. So you have to eventually go in. Just too late on this timing. If you did a full hop one too, you could have the opportunity to do the aerial cross up, falling up air stuff a lot easier. So doing full hop against tall characters is really important. If this was like Fox, for instance, this isn't too bad. If this was like Sheik, Marth, Falcon, I would be doing full hop back here to punish this for sure. Okay. Again, you roll in another spot where it would have been nice to just not roll. Okay. Jumping on stage is good, but you're not reacting to them actually like coming at you is the problem. Like,
it's like being scared.
Yeah, it's almost like you're like, I'm jumping off stage to not get hit, but you're like not like thinking about, oh, they could like try and hit me and miss. Is like kind of what you do when you jump off stage. Like if you did like a falling up air or falling down air after he whiffs there, you could just grab him, throw him off stage, or if you go for the up air, then you could probably up air rest. So you just get the stock back, which is crazy. Right here, I probably would have done did this back air, and I probably wouldn't have done for a an up air in this spot. I just know that when I back air a character like Falcon, Marth, and Sheik, and I hit them with back air and they have to tech, a lot of times they'll tech in place and shield. That's just like a common like situation that comes up a lot around like these mid percents. So I just go for this back air. I know they're gonna tech in place. I just land with them, and then I can either crouch under their shield grab after they try and hit they shield grab me because they think I'm gonna do like a falling up air on them or do like a poorly spaced aerial on shield. It's just like what they do. It's like a pretty common situation even against good players. Like I've hit this against like the Bens and the Gatsus of the world. So in this spot I would do the back air, land, probably just crouch under their shield grab and rest, or you do back air and just turn around grab if he's not going to shield grab too. Both those situations come up a lot, so that's just what I would do instead of the dash check. You sit down the time also to dash check there too. Yeah, like I was saying, this should just like never work. On net play, it's a little bit more understandable to get hit by stomp, honestly, but on land, like this like just never works. Yeah. You can just like react really easily in terms of
and just shield it.
Yeah, and shield it. Yeah. And then this is what I was saying about holding shield after waiting for gentleman. If you held shield after the gentleman, and then you can just do a wave dash out shield after. Some again like spot dodge. You can get a crouch up too underneath it, and then rest after. There's a bunch of different situations you can do against gentleman besides jumping into it. It's the only situation that loses. There again, I don't like doing the forward air in that spot. but
Yeah, that's
because
sort of what you're talking about. Like that's the best case. Like I got the weak fair and I just
Yeah.
get like nothing off it.
yeah, and right there, I'd probably just falling up air after noticing I kind of messed up doing the forward air anyways, and might have gotten like either a catch on a dash or something like that. It was just like a awkward spot. You could have probably also done the auto cancel down air in that spot because it was so awkward. It's kind of also like where it comes into play when it's like you're not really sure what you're supposed to do in terms of like which aerial to pick or like which mix-up I should be playing. I kind of just default to just doing an auto cancel down there when it's like really ambiguous on like what Falcon is doing and where I should be like positioning myself. It's also when it comes
Interesting.
this again, you jumped at the same time Falcon did as well too here.
Yeah, and from like that further back.
Yeah, and the further back again, so you're not actually stuffing anything. So yeah,
Yep.
again, just jump back, wait for the Nair to come out, back air it, sit on the ground, wave dash back, grab it. A few different situations here. Take more space, crouch right here, shield it, back air it as shields. That could have also worked too. But yeah, just obviously not stuffing it from a further distance away. It's just not the right move. This is fine gameplay if you're up. Obviously you're not up, so it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
This was crazy you got away with this, but you also kind of didn't because you got gentleman out of it. So just don't do those types of aerials coming down, intention of trading, especially when you're down. His up air is just too OP in terms of like beating all of your aerials coming down, so just don't try and do this.
Trying to do that just like gets to the platform.
Yeah,
and just like shield drop.
As soon as I put myself in that spot, I'm landing on the platform and wave line
Yeah.
off, shield dropping, or going to ledge too. Sometimes if he starts instantly trying to cover the platform, and I don't have enough time.
Right.
All three of those situations are good.
That's the roll again.
Yep. Okay, nothing too egregious here again. Okay, yeah. Now again, jump back.
Yep.
Oof. Yeah, this is why I like facing backwards. Even though I don't think you have any jumps, which is crazy. Did you not land in any of the sequence? Oh yeah, that's the importance of landing, like even on the platform for a second. Like, it's crazy how you just die at like, basically died like 40, like before all this happened, just because you didn't land at any point.
Basically, yeah.
I like the dash check a lot. That was pretty good. And then he does the same recovery, so you don't have to play a different mix-up at all. But yeah, let's see. Okay, you roll again in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But okay, so this is a big thing. Falcon doesn't want to stay in place, like I was talking about. He doesn't want to put himself in shield if he doesn't have to. So a lot of times he'll just dash away instantly. So that's why your fair just doesn't work at all. He was just dashing away and jumping away. So in that spot, I would have just sat and crouch right here after the roll, and then wait to see what he would do. If he goes for like tries to turn around, like back air me, I would shield it, then probably shield grab the back air, or punish what he does after. And then also if he does like a dash at me, I just back air to shield dash, both those, or back air to crouch. I'm sorry, the dash, and then if he just does a dash back, then it takes base on him. So you don't really want to hit where he just was a lot of the time. Sometimes in melee you can hit where the opponent is, but Falcon is especially a character you can't really hit where he actually is at that very moment. It's more about hitting where he's gonna be, or reacting to where he's gonna be more specifically. Okay. I like this type of gameplay way more than what you were doing earlier. You were just doing like wave dash in place. It's really good. Do the back air crouch. You go to your knee. Obviously, it's not going to work. And then right here, I like sitting in shield. He whiffs this stomp. Back air to shield. Perfect. That was perfect gameplay in this matchup. I mean, I don't like doing the short hop back air like I was talking about that started the power shield. But like everything you did after was perfect. Like this is, but then this is what I was talking about in terms of they jump after getting hit by a low percent move. So you do a jump read right here. Obviously he doesn't get knocked down here, but he has no jump anymore. You do the rising up air, falling up air, rest. You literally are like an even game again. Which is crazy. Just one like simple like interaction, you just like would have instantly been winning again. Just crazy. This was kind of crazy he ran into this. But again, it's kind of like, it's better because you started from like here is the difference here. But I still wouldn't do this type of gameplay at all. Not at all, but like I wouldn't use it as my default type of game plan against Falcon. That's what I'm saying. It just like kind of worked out. This one was pretty crazy. I like this one a lot more than that one.
Yeah, that's like more like in that space where I want to be doing it closer to the center.
Yeah, like this was good for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I probably could have gotten something off it, like falling. But again, that's just like I'm just resetting.
For sure, you definitely are just resetting. This is what I was talking about. You just don't click grab in a spot. Like this was like, give me the grab. that's all I'm thinking right now. The same thing about fair. You actually got a strong fair this time, but you still traded, so it was not good. Again, you either wait for the stomp to come out, or if your intention is like to hit him before he jumps, again, just use like, or like hit him when he's just like standing there, auto cancel downer would have been good too.
Oh yeah.
But it's crazy, you're sitting in crouch, you just click the fair instead.
Yeah.
Just clicked grab,
yeah.
You would have been off stage, would have been awesome. This is pretty huge. You actually are good in edgeguarding in a lot of ways, but then you just don't know this sequence. You also like back your into the center stage.
Yeah, I just didn't give myself enough time. Really.
Yeah, it's more about you're probably also not trusting that you're like you are gonna get the hit. You're not like believing that like what you're doing sometimes is like really intentional with like it's gonna hit the character, which is something I see a lot in terms of like new puffs too. Is like they do like aerial, they hit the aerial and then just like drift back, because like you just like aren't trusting yourself. You have to commit, like, unfortunately, with like a back air, and if you're wrong, like, yeah, you're wrong, but like you can't play like every matchup where it's like Peach Puff where you can do those types of back airs and like, oh, if I like if I hit, it's like not the worst thing in the world because I can never get punished after doing that back air, but like you have to get that like full drift in after the back air to actually punish things a lot of time. But because that happens, you got put in a situation where Falcon recovers like this. So whenever Falcon's coming from below and you don't have time to cover this. So right like here, you can do a short hop down air. You can probably still have enough time to catch him coming to the ledge after his up B, and it just resets the edge guard, which is really important. Or you could have also done like an edge cancel down air and reset the edge guard too. But I think like worst case scenario, like not like worst case scenario, but like let's say you just like drift in after the back air instead, and you were in the same spot, and Falcon was like here, then you would have to do the down air to reset the edge guard anyways, which is just like a really important tool against
usually Falcon. I go for that down air in like most of the time if I have time. If I don't have time, I'll try to like go for like a dash attack.
Yeah.
In situations like this. But yeah, I can get the down air, just sometimes I find that like I just kind of mess up the edge guard from there, but that's like it's like you said, you're just resetting the situation and then you play the mix up from there.
Yeah, I like dash attack when he's high. When he's coming high and I don't have time to hit him, I'd like down air when he's below. Because he can't tech the dash attack from high, and he can't obviously tech it down air at all. So yeah, you just didn't do it on the fountain game, which we're definitely not gonna have time to get to. Yeah, you didn't do it on the Falcon game when you had a lot of time to do it, which is why I brought it up here. So
cool.
Okay, wow, what happened here? So you have him in the corner, which is good. You whiff this back air, completely fine. Right here, he shields because he's scared. So right here, you can't obviously cross up a shield, right? Because it put you off stage. So just doing a falling back air here, or landing and then grabbing, both of them would have been pretty good. I would have probably done a falling back air just to keep corner pressure and not overcommit is probably what I would do here. So I'd do a falling back air, knowing that there's nothing you can do to hit me. And then I'd crouch like you do here. But you just like do this dash dance movement, which is crazy. Again, it's like that's like your first thought after like crouching. You're like, nothing's happening for a while. It's like starting to like dash dance or jump around. Which is funny. You just kind of like want to move, which I get it. I like to move a lot with Puff too.
Well, yeah, I used to play Fox before I played Puff, so it's like a lot of that just like dash dance. I'm like moving, I'm wave dashing, you know.
Yeah. Let's say we're just sitting in crouch though. you notice that he
Yeah.
jumps, you can just react to the jump with an up air, or if you're late on the reaction, you could wait for the stomp to come out, land on the platform, and then you up air him here. If you up air a shield, right, you can just, again, drift away, and then falling up air the shield drop, which is insanely common. Right here, if you want to hit him on the platform after, like, missing, like, 2 or 3 reaction times, what you do back air again, like I was saying. You back air, hit his shield, and then falling up air. But you not hit his shield, so he has no incentive to shield drop, if that makes sense. Okay. That was a really good forwarder. That's what I was talking about in terms of distance. It's way better in the corner because he has a reason to jump or dash at you and be scared. A lot of times he doesn't have a way to dash back and beat this. It's just how, you know, it loses in center stage a lot of the time. But, or like, you know, starting from this position. Whereas starting in the corner, he doesn't have time to dash back. So it's a really different situation. This is really good. You could probably just combo this into dash attack, honestly. It probably would have worked. But because you give him enough time, you could probably just, again, hard read the up air because he doesn't get knocked down off the forward air. Again, off the jump. But you go for a back air here. Just, like, don't go for these types of back airs. This also comes up versus Marth. You go for Marth down airs, and then you go for a back air and you get hit by this down air. Just go for an up air if you're trying to hit, like, an aerial coming onto the platform like this. I'd also wait it out a little bit longer before going for the up air too. But yeah, you trade somehow, which is good. Oh, this is a situation.
Yeah,
that's
really bad.
Yeah, so here you just get down air.
And like I just have full awareness of the situation too, and I just choose to just like be a pussy.
Yeah, you just literally, you can either, I don't really like going off stage at this point because I'm just scared of getting hugged, and then because I'm on Battlefield, obviously it's gonna be like awkward sometimes to hit the tech, so I probably wouldn't go down there. I would just reset the edge guard with a down air on the ledge, and then just go off stage and hit him after. Because obviously it doesn't have a jump anyways, so the edge guard after is just gonna be really free. This was good, and then he does the same recovery again, so it works out.
Yep.
Yeah. There's one time on the Fountain game, which we're not going to get to, where he doesn't do the recovery, he does the double jump back, and do the same exact forward air. But it was a situation where there was no way he could have actually gotten the recovery you wanted. So just be, like, careful when you're doing these types of reads that he actually has the ability to do the option you, like, think he's going to do, or he has been doing. If he doesn't have the option to do it, he obviously can't do it. If that makes sense. But it's basically an even game. It's fine. But you do the fair again. Oh, another grab. Back through here would have been crazy. You probably won't kill him at 0, but like you have the opportunity to, which is a big difference. Then you try and grab anyways, so it wasn't that good. Again, the weak fair stuff.
Fair again. Yep.
This is good. Jump. I like this jump back. This is completely fine. If you're falling up air here, instead of doing this back air, that would have been cool. And then you could have either done the up air grab we were talking about earlier. It was literally the same exact situation that started the game too. This is the exact same sequence that started the game. Both situations would have been crazy if you got them. Okay. You just let go of shield, I guess. Weak fair again. Again, that was an auto cancel down air situation. Would have done for sure. This was a good back air timing. This is really good. Because he could only dash at you or jump, and this covered both. This is just pretty good awareness.
Yeah, that's a space where like you just really like to play at in this matchup.
Yeah.
Like I'm just right at him, I can just flop and he just can't do anything about it. He shields, I can mix up.
Wow. I think you had another kill again. Right here. After you hit this back air, fast fall falling up air, but you like do this like weird like not like a neutral drift too. And then you go for a back air after and let him have enough time to get out. So sometimes if you also think he has enough time to get out, you do the back air instead of doing the falling up air like I was talking about earlier. You just keep chasing him with a back air and just like fall on top of him, and there's just nothing you can do about it. If you whiff, then you crouch, and then again you play the crouch mix up again. So it's still always fine. Oh, this was good until you jumped into this. Darn. So
it's just like sort of the timing thing, I guess. I think I had the idea.
So wave dash back, good. you dash though, and then you do a dash back air. But like, if you did this wave dash back, jumped off stage, falling up right here, that would have been really good. It's the same exact situation that you've been setting up, that you set up earlier, but you didn't capitalize on. But if you capitalize on this time, you probably, I don't think, no, actually it's knockdown percent, I think, for up air. So this would have been really good.
We could have gone for like up air up to.
Yeah, even if it doesn't knock down, right? Yeah. Okay. You do again the same exact forward air. I am so guilty of this, so I know exactly what happens here. Good DI in the Nair, probably unintentional, but yeah, if you held up there, you just get out of the Nair. Single hits, really good.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, you jump into him out of the corner instead of shielding his jump at you. You up aired.
And then I. Oh no, this isn't what I rolled off stage.
Yeah, you had no reason to shield here because he wasn't jumping at you. Then you try and do a weak fairy setup again. Darn it.
So in that situation, should I just be like, is it still just I'm just crouching and then just waiting for what he's gonna do?
Okay, so right here, obviously you messed up by putting yourself in shield. You didn't have to, but so now that I'm at this spot, I probably will unshield and just start crouching, or I will jump out of shield backwards. I probably jump out of shield backwards like 99% of the time here. Or I can wave dash back the ledge too. But probably I jump out of shield backwards because sometimes he might just like think, oh, he's in shield when he shouldn't have been. I'm going to run up grab. So then when he tries to run up grab or tries to like short hop knee at you, right? And like overshoot and hit you and then do like knee and then gentleman on shield, and you don't have anywhere to wave dash back to. So you just won't be able to beat it. You jump back if you have nowhere to wave dash back to. And able to get a punish, obviously. So yeah, I'd probably just jump out of shield backwards, most likely. Or I would just like, I wouldn't do this fair ever. I'm trying to think of another situation I'd probably do. Sometimes maybe I wave dash down out of shield and then just put myself in crouch so I can have a better opportunity to react to him. That also could work, but I'd be scared of getting hit because I put myself into a bad spot with shielding. So I'd probably jump away.
But so before that, should I have just gone to the platform there?
What, like right?
Like, yeah, like right here. Like, what's the idea? Or am I trying to go ledge?
Again, turn yourself around in this spot, but in this spot is essentially really bad. But because you're such low on jumps, I would be looking at what he's doing. So he's on the ground here, right? I would probably start drifting this way with the intention of maybe landing top platform. But, like, I don't want to land top. The top platform was, like, last resort in terms of, like, landing in this matchup. So, I am drifting forward because he's on the ground here, which covers the ledge. And, like, it's soft covers the ledge and hard covers the platform. So, I want to be drifting more inwards. And that's what Falcon's probably thinking right now, too, right? That's why he's running this way. Because he's thinking, you're probably going to start drifting this way. And he wants to be in a better spot so he doesn't let you cross him up and get onto the platform. So that's why Falcon's going this way. But he goes here. The second I see him go here and I put myself in this spot, I'm going ledge like 99% of the time. Sometimes though, I have to hard read that he's gonna dash back here, because like, so the thing is, you can definitely just land on the ground with like an aerial. And that's what Falcon sometimes will punish, right? So that's why he might dash dance again to wait that out. Like if you like Nair onto the ground, right? Pretty common puff thing. So he might just dash dance to try and cover that. But he also can run off and then try and upper you before you get to the ledge. So those are like the things that Falcon's thinking about here. So in this spot, I would probably like almost always either land ledge or land on the ground without doing an aerial. Those are my like two options. Landing on the ground without doing an aerial covers him going for like a runoff up air, because he just can't react to me landing on the platform versus landing on the edge of the stage versus landing on the ledge, which is just like a pretty clear distinction. But if I go ledge, obviously then I die. And then also when I land on the edge of the stage, then if he goes inwards thinking I'm going to go onto the platform, which I think is the worst situation in this matchup, because if I land on the platform low, if I try and land on the platform low and jumps, I get hit by up air, I just so am dead. Yeah. Like, I don't want to land on the platform low and jumps. That's why I also don't want to land on top platform too, but you put yourself in a not good situation. So you have only 2 options to pick from, and both of them are pretty bad. But I'd probably land on the stage, and hopefully he runs off and tries to up air my ledge. But it depends too. But yeah, those are like the options there. It's definitely not good. Again, the biggest thing was drifting inwards, giving yourself the option to go top platform to land. I'm gonna go over my notes really quick, and also the rollout off stage was pretty troll. I assume you're trying to pound or something.
Yeah, I was just trying to pound. That's just tragic.
Yeah, that was just really unfortunate for sure. Let me see.
But then again, that's a pretty shitty place to be pounding anyway. So I guess you reap what you sow.
Yeah, it's like in that spot when you're that low on jump, so you're just like hoping to like pound. Hopefully they jump off stage at you and die, or like try and like air dodge in this space and mix up where you go stage or ledge, which you really can against Falcon. If Falcon could just hold ledge and then ledge hop knee, so it doesn't work. So yeah, you're kind of just screwed. But let me just look at the stuff we wrote down for the Fountain game. Just think about like your knockdown percents a lot too. Sometimes you like back air and like go for like double back air in spots where like he's not gonna be able to actually get hit by like 2 back airs because he's able to either crouch cancel it, or he's just being like at 24 and then you go for like back air. You do like the full hop back air stuff and then you go for a back air thinking he's gonna get knocked down and he actually doesn't. So I would just be worrying about my knockdown percents. Applies to every matchup. Let's see.
What is back air knockdown this percent, like 45?
45 I think is the exact percent, or 46 in my head. I don't think it's any other percent. Against Falcon it's more of like you're just kind of building damage anyways, so like it's more of a range in my head when I'm thinking of like, oh, back air knocks down at like 45-ish. I'm not really thinking too much. Like against Fox, like for instance, you need to, in Falco, you need to know the exact percents for sure. Like up air knocks down to 17% against Fox, 18% against Falco. Like you have to know those for sure, because that completely changes the way you play the matchups. But this one, it's like more of a range in my head in terms of like what I should know. But yeah, again, like make sure you like lab like the up there tech chase stuff, up there like up air rest stuff, because you like miss like even like the up air ones like I was talking about, you just like missed every time. Labbing L cancels for sure.
Yep.
Those are the 2 big things I would be labbing necessarily. Everything else is more about like just like implementing like the game plan essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, do you have any questions?
No, not really. This is super helpful.
Okay, I think that's good. So I'll see you.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Peace.